I'm a psychic and I've started having feelings for my best friend. To win his heart, I sneaked out the love potion that had been sitting at home for years. They say it'll make someone show their true feelings, and it only lasts about a month. I brought the potion to school, planning to give it to my friend. But when I left for just a moment, the potion disguised as snacks was all gone. I looked at the empty snack box, helplessly glancing over at my laid-back, charming school bully friend and my blushing, guilty-looking classmate. I was trying to figure out who ate my potion. I pointed shakily at the empty cookie box on the table, then turned to the two people beside me. One was Alex, my crush for the past 3 years, relaxed and carefree. The other was Joshua, a top student and my tablemate for 3 years. I'm all confused trying to figure out who stole my cookie. My mom is also a psychic, and she moved here after marrying my dad. She seems unreliable, but she's quite particular about this one thing at home, the love potion. She said it's used to test if someone's feelings are genuine. Those who drink it will be deeply devoted and loving, though it's not as scary as people say. And it lasts about a month before it wears off by itself. I got curious when I heard this and took the love potion, disguised it as cookies, planning to give it to Alex to see if he likes me. Alex. Right now, Alex is resting on the desk, sunlight casting a warm glow on his head, softening his sharp features. I woke him up, and he groggily opened his eyes, seemingly lost in thought. What's up? Done already? Let's go home. I'm so sleepy. Ignoring his grumbling, I nervously questioned him. Did you eat the cookies from my desk? Alex shrugged it off. Oh, those? Yeah, I grabbed a piece when I came to find you. Why, can't I even have a cookie? My heart was pounding, unsure if I was relieved or scared. Did you eat the whole box? But before Alex could answer, Joshua, who was still solving problems, chimed in. Sophia, I ate one too. Just now, Alex gave it to me, thought it was his. Joshua looked apologetically at me. Sorry, didn't know. I'll get you some more tomorrow. I stayed silent, the room eerily quiet. Alex still had some cookie crumbs on his lips, half asleep, showing no signs of anything unusual. But Joshua, my top student tablemate, was blushing heavily. He seemed warm, unbuttoning his school shirt's collar with one hand and tapping the desk as if holding something back. If I didn't know who drank the potion by now, I might as well have lived these 17 years in vain. Oh no. I quickly moved Alex aside and reached to check Joshua's forehead. If someone drank the potion, they'd feel hot and emotionally confused. Joshua, are you okay? Why's your face so red? Alex, behind me, with a strange expression, irritably tugged me back. Sophia. Let's go. He's fine. Hurry up, or the food Mom made is gonna get cold. Suddenly pulled towards him, I fell into his embrace, his fresh soap scent filling my nose, making my face heat up. Joshua, however, pulled me back, looking displeased at Alex. Careful, you scared her. Alex, who usually doesn't talk much, acted like he had a firecracker lit today. What's it to you? Who are you to her? Joshua's face darkened too. Don't bite off more than you can chew. I had never seen Joshua so angry. Maybe the potion had side effects that made him emotional. Alex was trained in martial arts, and if they fought, Joshua wouldn't stand a chance. I quickly dragged Alex out. Sorry, class president, Alex is just in a bad mood today, nothing else. Urgently, I pushed Alex toward the exit. We're going now. She will get worried if we don't hurry. Finish up soon, okay? The shadows deepened as we walked along the pebbled path, light slipping through the trees. Carrying my backpack, Alex stayed silent and walked ahead. Usually, he'd slow down for me, but today he didn't. I hurried to catch up, tugging at his sleeve. Alex, what's up? He avoided my eyes, softly saying, nothing. Normally, I'd push for answers, but today wasn't the same. I had given Joshua the potion. I silently cursed myself for being careless. Based on what I've observed, Joshua was dedicated to his studies, with no girls around. He'd never shown interest in any girl, leading me to think he only loved studying. The potion only brings out true feelings, so with Joshua's dedication to his studies, maybe it'd just boost his academic zeal. That thought only frustrated me more. As Joshua's scores were far higher than mine, he always kept me in second place. What if the potion made him even better? Just then, Alex broke my thoughts. "What are you thinking about, Sophia?" Still lost in thought, I replied, thinking about Joshua. Alex stopped abruptly, frowning. "What are you thinking about him for?" I was at a loss for words. I couldn't exactly tell him I was wondering why the cookie with the love bug hidden inside hadn't been eaten by him, but by Joshua instead. So I had to make something up. I said I was thinking about why he's so good in school. Alex had his backpack slung over one shoulder, with a black earphone twirled around his right ear. He stood straight, his messy hair slightly covering his eyes that had two faint scars on the lids. His face looked a bit puzzled, mixed with some frustration. "Just because he's good in school, you follow him around all the time?" I was standing so close to him that I could see myself clearly reflected in his gray-brown pupils. I quickly averted my eyes. Who doesn't like a good student? Only I liked someone as reckless and carefree as Alex. Unfortunately, Alex seemed to only see me as a regular friend. After hearing my answer, Alex's face fell inexplicably. Alex's parents were divorced, and when his aunt brought him here, it happened to coincide with my family moving here. My parents were always traveling for work, so Annie took care of me during a big part of my childhood. Once I got into high school, my mom often took me to Alex's for meals. His aunt would invite us to try new dishes at her place whenever she could. She ran a flower shop downstairs. Even though it was nearly December, there were still plenty of flowers I couldn't name blooming beautifully in the shop. When Alex and I walked in, his aunt was busy with customers. We sat off to the side and waited for her to finish up. I pulled out my homework and started writing furiously. Not being one to take studies seriously, especially already earning a reputation for giving our dean headaches, Alex didn't bother to bring his backpack home. He watched me scribble away, bored, before picking up a watering can to water the flowers in the shop. When his aunt finished up and turned around, she saw her wayward son dumping all the water into one pot. She smacked him on the back of the head. "What are you thinking? You're gonna drown it." Alex, clearly distracted and knowing he messed up, shrank to one side to take the scolding. While his aunt went to serve soup, he somehow got a flower and came over to me. Alex lounged on the chair next to mine, handing me a flower. "Here, for you." He had this lazy drawl to his voice, his high nose bridge and long lashes making him look adorably carefree as he balanced on one hand and held a white flower in the other. I brightened and took the flower. "What kind of flower is this?" His clear eyes sparkled with a hint of a smile. "Camellia." "Thanks." I must be nuts, thinking he might actually like me. Alex, his mom, and I were mid-soup when my mom showed up unexpectedly, even though she was supposed to be on a week-long business trip. Surprise. "Sophia, miss me?" His aunt hurried to set her a place, joking. "You finally remembered to come back. Any later, and Sophia might start calling me Mom." It was a harmless comment, but it got to me. Even though I knew she didn't mean it that way, I avoided looking at Alex. My mom pretended to be annoyed and joked with his aunt. "Just because of a few meals, you think you can steal my daughter?" Her aunt laughed. "Sophia's such a gem. If she were my daughter, I'd be grinning from ear to ear in my sleep." My mom eyed me and glanced at Alex, her expression freezing for a moment. Her aunt noticed the change and asked, "What's wrong? Aren't you gonna eat?" Mom's expression was strange. Something's off about Alex. His aunt was puzzled. "What's off?" "We treat him like royalty. What could possibly be wrong?" "Nothing." My mom then wolfed down 3 bowls of rice, leaving his aunt baffled. "Slow down, you'll have plenty." Mom let out a satisfied sigh, giving me a look like she was disappointed in me. You don't get it, I have to get my money's worth. After the meal, my mom dived into her creepy bug in a jar collection room. After a while, a scream echoed from inside. I touched my neck, peering nervously. Mom, what's up? My special love bug is missing. I started fidgeting like crazy, my eyes darting everywhere. Maybe you didn't close the lid, and it got away? Mom wailed. What do we do? That was a custom-made bug. Not your run-of-the-mill love bug. My heart skipped a beat, and a sense of doom settled over me. How is it different? Mom seemed resigned, collapsing onto the sofa with a smile. If the person at Target's doesn't kiss their crush within a month, they won't be able to, perform. I was instantly petrified. Why would you make something like that? You don't even need it. Mom sighed. Well, your dad's barely home. Always working, never thinking about his wife. Facing my death stare, her voice dwindled, meekly adding. Or his daughter. I freaked out. What if someone else got hit with it? Mom waved it off. So what? It only works if they eat it. The bug would die in 3 days if it didn't attach to someone. Who's gonna eat a bug that big? If it's gone, it's gone. I'll make another. Heartbroken, I left my unreliable mom with a dramatic, pained look. The camellia Alex gave me was in a plastic bottle, swaying. I stared at the flower, feeling guiltier and guiltier. Remembering Joshua's patience and kindness when explaining stuff to me made me want to hide in shame. The priority now was figuring out which of these two liked someone else enough for a kiss. It wasn't about Alex liking me anymore. Even if Alex liked Joshua, I'd have to get them to kiss. 29 days left. Time to test Alex. The next day, with panda eyes, I waited for Alex outside. It was early morning in spring, the night sky hadn't completely faded. The whole street was wrapped in silence, but the dawn was lighting up the sky, casting soft light down the street. A breeze brushed by, catching Alex's school uniform as he walked slowly ahead of me. I had a serious look on my face and asked. Alex. Alex looked groggy and not quite awake. What kind of girl do you like? His lazy demeanor vanished with my question. He froze, a slight twitch at the corner of his eye, with an awkward smile. Why are you asking? To protect your future happiness, of course. Just curious. His eyes narrowed slightly, voice a bit husky, ending with a teasing lilt. The kind that's soft and a bit silly. I nodded knowingly. Guess that's not me. Despite always being second to Joshua in grades, I'm still second in our year, often on the honor roll. Even if I had prepped myself mentally, I couldn't help feeling a little empty. Alex suddenly asked. So, what kind do you like? My brain was filtering through Alex's social circle, so I replied absent-mindedly. I don't really have a type. Someone who'll stick with me would make me happy. I've been kind of left on my own growing up. My parents did their best to make up for not being around because of work, but I've always felt a bit insecure. I've realized having someone who sticks by you is non-negotiable for me. That afternoon, during break, Joshua was swamped with student council stuff. With nothing to do, I wandered to Alex's classroom to see what he's up to and if any girls meet his standards. Our school sorts classes by grades, and Alex is in the middle tier B class upstairs. With the teachers busy preparing for an event, no one was watching the class. Alex sat at the back, easy to spot. A girl sat next to him. Long, curly brown hair and a tear-shaped mole by her eye made her striking. A class star Joshua and B-class beauty Wendy, their siblings, and quite the topic around school. I've seen her visit Joshua in our class before, so she's familiar. Alex seemed to be talking to Wendy. She looked very serious. As I got closer to say hi, I heard Alex drawl lazily. Trying to quit me cold turkey? How do you resist not talking to me? I stopped with a look of disbelief. Did he just say that? From my angle, I could only see the back of Alex's head and Wendy's expression. She nodded, and Alex went on, encouraged. Really not gonna talk to me? Girl, don't deny it, you must be head over heels for me. In front of Alex, the guys he hung out with could barely stifle their laughter. One of them turned back to Alex, saying, "You're too much, dude." Alex tilted his head at Wendy, who signaled back with a thumbs up. He kept going. I was in a daze. Didn't expect Alex to be like this in private. He's more reserved around me. One of the guys noticed me and greeted me. "Hey, top student, what brings you here?" "Something with Alex?" Alex spun around, looking startled. "I got it, I totally got it." So he likes Wendy. Their banter fits his style. Wendy's got the looks but not stellar grades, definitely fitting Alex's preferences. I waved it off. No biggie, just grabbing something for a teacher. Before Alex could stop me, I hurried back to a class. The guy turned back to Alex, puzzled. Why did she look so shocked? Did she hear something? Wendy stood, patting Alex's shoulder. No worries, we didn't say anything serious. Alex, trust me, with practice, she'll fall for you. Alex looked skeptical. Really? Wendy assured. Girls know what other girls like. The guy in front held back what he wanted to say. 28 days to go, I had my heart broken, but I still had to probe Joshua. Joshua leaned back, playing with a pen, as sunlight highlighted his tousled hair. Perfect features, stellar grades, a role model for students, and pride of teachers and parents. Joshua, like a perfect novel hero, adored by many girls, truly earns his school prince title. If I hadn't watched Alex grow up, I might have liked Joshua. But our conversations stay academic, grades, rankings. Sometimes, I'm even stuck passing messages and presents from his fans. Starting by asking someone's type felt awkward. So, I asked indirectly. Class rep, what do you like? He turned slowly, his deep eyes meeting mine. Propping his head on one hand, he half smiled. Why ask suddenly? I chuckled nervously, feeling guilty. Because you seem like you're only about the books, with zero other interests. Joshua nonchalantly clicked the pen shut, thought for a bit, then answered. Not at all. I like the sky, the sea, sunshine, waves, and... He paused. I couldn't resist. So vague? Can't you be more specific? Anything else? I was secretly hoping he'd specify a person, ideally a girl. Joshua added slowly. And you? So close I could hear his breath. My mind turned to mush, I couldn't feel my heartbeat. I dropped my pen, dazed for ages, only managing a single syllable word. Huh. I didn't even get a chance to react. Alex popped out of nowhere, looking all riled up. No way. Joshua didn't back down a bit, grinning as he asked. Why not? What's it got to do with you anyway? Alex clenched his jaw, clearly annoyed, and didn't say a word for a while. Both of them turned to look at me. Joshua calmly picked up a pen from the ground for me. Sophia, no pressure. Until you give me an answer, my liking you is just about me. I'll wait for your answer. If a month isn't enough, I'll wait a year, and if that's not enough, then another year. After all, with our grades, we'll both make it to a university. Joshua assured me gently. I stayed silent, pretty much agreeing with him. I mean, I do plan to go to a university, it's not a secret. It's the best school for computer science in the country. And computers are my passion. Plus, it's local, just a 40-minute trip from home. 20 days left on the countdown. Since Joshua confessed, nothing really changed between us. We're still the same, discussing problems, competing, prepping for speeches. I said nothing about his confession, and Joshua was smart not to bring it up. We've been fine for over a week now. It really seems like he said, his liking me is his issue, not mine. The thing is, I'm still not sure who took the love bug, Alex or Joshua. If it was Alex, then it's easy. I just need to help him and Wendy hit it off and seal it with a kiss. But if it's Joshua, that's a different story. Do I really need to kiss Joshua? I can't do that. I'm just a girl who recently got heartbroken. Still harboring some unrealistic fantasies about Alex, I can't even consider it. I grabbed my not-so-reliable mom, gritting my teeth. Mom, are you sure the love bug isn't lost forever? Can't you sense where it is or something? She swatted my hand away, giving me a stern look. You think it's that easy? I can only tell who got affected by a bug, not which one. I'm not skilled enough to sense their exact location yet. I kicked myself for being too grossed out by the bug stuff to learn about controlling them when I was younger. Now I'm stuck. I tried to butter her up, praising her bug-making skills, then casually asked. So, how do you know if someone is bugged? She got all smug. When someone swallows a bug, you can see it on their features. Like with the love bug I lost, the person can't help but get close to their crush, feel their heart race, and get all clingy. Too far apart, and they get restless. If they don't get closer over time, marks will show up on their back. I thought it over. Joshua sure seemed to fit the profile. The way he reacted after the cookie and then his sudden confession, totally matched those symptoms. I really screwed up, huh? I have to find a way to check Joshua's back. 15 days left. Lately, I've been sticking close to Joshua. My eyes often glued to his back, wishing I had X-ray vision. After school, I usually wait for Alex, and we head home together. Joshua usually stays a bit to work on some problems. With the bug's deadline looming, I'm so stressed even my mouth ulcers are acting up. As Alex comes to get me, my eyes keep shifting between my water cup and Joshua, busy writing away. If this isn't the time, then when? I stand up, holding the cup, and pretend to accidentally spill cold water on Joshua's back. Although it's spring, the northern heat feels like summer already. Some guys have already switched to short sleeves. Joshua's wearing the summer uniform, just like the school issued. The cold water splashed over his back, soaking a patch of his uniform. I apologized repeatedly, grabbing a napkin, pretending to help him dry off, hoping I could catch a glimpse of his back through the thin material. Alex shouted from the door. Sophia. He sounded like an army general barking orders. Alex stormed over, slightly annoyed, snatching the napkin from my hands. Both Joshua and I looked at him, confused. Alex's face was dark, like a thundercloud. He forced out a sentence. Sophia, be more careful. Seriously. Let me help you, Joshua. With that, he completely covered Joshua and wiped away the water himself. What the heck? I was so close to finding out, and Alex went and did that? Honestly, these two are already starting to look like a ship to me. Alex made sure Joshua was all dry and even offered up his jacket to cover him, making sure I didn't see a thing. The big assembly we'd been prepping for finally started. Joshua and I were up to give a speech as student reps. Alex did quite well in his recent exams, so the school asked him to share his improvement tips. Student speeches were last on the agenda, after all the administrators spoke, so we three managed sound equipment backstage. Alex and I were in charge of audio, while Joshua, as student council president, coordinated students with the single mic up front. I was glued to Joshua's back. Towards noon, being busy as he was in organizing everything, he was sure to sweat a little. Just a little more sweat and I'd finally glimpse whether there are any marks on his back. Alex noticed my obvious staring. Why do you keep staring at Joshua? I played it cool. Staring? Me? Alex gave a nonchalant nod. You might as well hang your eyeballs on him. I dodged. Maybe it's because I'm about to go on stage with the class president. I feel kinda nervous and can't stop glancing at him. Alex clenches his back teeth, clearly not pleased. He mumbles under his breath. I'm going up there too, why don't you look at me more? I'm lost for words. That comment really makes you think. Why would he say that? What's he trying to imply, anyway? Does he kinda like me or something? Well, I'm not so out of it that I'd forget he likes Wendy. I try to change the subject, acting all casual. So, how's it going with Wendy? Have you guys kissed yet or what? 'Cause if Joshua didn't actually get love struck, but Alex did, then how fast he's moving with Wendy is kinda a big deal for him. Alex frowns, looking confused. Me and her? What do you mean, just classmates? Meanwhile, Joshua's wrapping up his work and calls Alex and me over for a sound check. He heads up front to check things out. I walk towards Joshua, feeling a bit uneasy, and speak up. Aren't you into Wendy? Alex laughs softly, but there's an odd hint of coldness to it. Where'd you hear that from? I give him the short version of what I saw that day. Alex furrows his brows and clicks his tongue. I just asked Wendy how to make the girl I like me back. Noticing my brain still hasn't caught on, he frustratedly rubs the back of his head. Next time, could you maybe ask more before jumping to conclusions? Good news, the person I like doesn't actually like the most popular girl at school. Bad news, he likes someone else. I lower my head, feeling a bit shy. Oh, got it. Feeling awkward, I start heading to the front to find Joshua. Alex sees what I'm trying to do and grabs my arm. He leans in and whispers something in a low, kind of enticing voice. Don't you want to know who I like? He leans closer, staring right into my eyes. My heart starts racing. Every beat seems to bring a thrilling sensation as if something big is about to happen. Then he says, Sophia, there are 4 kinds of gold: gold itself, dollars, scholarships, and my good looks and wealth. Me, that's tough to judge. So? Alex seems a little embarrassed by his cheesy pickup line. As he talks, his frown deepens a bit. Alex isn't done trying. My perfectly sculpted features, your heart's on switch. Don't ask about my ingredients, I'm just too handsome for words. I listen to all of Alex's lines with a blank expression. What exactly are you trying to say? Alex looks a little shocked. You can't figure that out? I stand there dazed, glad it's just the 2 of us backstage. I like you. Can't you tell? Alex finally talks like a normal person. I hold back the sarcastic remarks stuck in my throat, making me cough instead. Feeling a bit disoriented, I rub my eyes and look at the boy standing under the light and shadows, a bit stunned. I meet his earnest, stubborn eyes and the tips of his ears turning red, as if everything goes silent and time freezes. I even think I can hear my own heartbeat. Alex, seeing my silence, shifts his gaze away, eyes dimmed. I know I'm not good at studying, and no matter how hard I try, I won't be able to join you at University A. But, Sophia, I promise I'll always be there for you, working hard to catch up with you. Whether he's nervous or hot, Alex's forehead is slightly sweaty. Just as I'm about to respond, Joshua bursts in. He heads straight to the control panel and turns off the sound system. Joshua frowns tightly, glaring at Alex. Can't you check if the mic's on before you start talking? Me and Alex, we're gonna be famous. Luckily, only 1 or 2 teachers are setting up outside, and the big bosses haven't shown up yet. But, Alex's words were loud and clear to the classmates working on the props outside. Word spreads quickly to our homeroom teacher's ears. After the oath-taking ceremony ends, Alex, Joshua, and I are summoned to the office for a chat. Joshua got dragged in since he's in charge of the event. Our homeroom teacher first lightly scolds Joshua for his sloppy work, then turns to me. I know at your age, 17 or 18, you're bound to have crushes on the opposite sex. But hey, the college entrance exams are around the corner, so get your priorities straight. Don't throw away the best years of your life for a moment of fun. I listen respectfully, not daring to make a sound, knowing the teacher means well. Since Alex isn't in our class, our homeroom teacher can't deal with him, so she calls in Alex's teacher. Alex's teacher is this lady with glasses, famous for being sharp-tongued. The minute she walks in, she snipes at Alex. Sorry for the trouble. Our student is just like that, not serious about studies, and worse, is now trying to date a student from Class A. Such a disgrace. Alex doesn't move. I know him well, his temper normally would have him fighting back by now. But he holds back, not wanting to make things worse since it could affect Joshua and me. It's really not a big deal, not what you'd call disgraceful. Feelings in school are probably the purest and nothing to be ashamed of. Besides, this kid is sharing his experience at the ceremony, hardly a delinquent. Our homeroom teacher frowns, replying. As teachers, we ought to watch our words. Alex's teacher, reluctant to argue with someone so much more experienced, turns her irritation back to Alex. What are you standing there for? A toad can't chase after a swan without knowing their worth. Do you really think you're a match for her? Anger flares inside me at those words. I step forward. Alex isn't what you say at all. You're a teacher, but you're being so mean. You owe Alex an apology. His teacher glances at me, smiling. Hey, is that girl in your class interested in this guy? She seems to be defending him even before anything's official. Alex's face darkened, like a storm was brewing. Before Alex could get angry, Joshua, who had been silent up until then, suddenly spoke up. Teacher, why do you have to use someone else's feelings as material for mockery? Students are people, too, and deserve respect. Do you always speak to others like this? Honestly, it's a miracle you've passed the teacher evaluations without issues. There were rumors that Joshua has a family connection with the principal. I didn't believe it until I saw the female teacher's angry but silent face, confirming they were true. In the end, the incident concluded with the teacher apologizing to us. Alex left the office, reluctantly thanking Joshua. Thanks. Joshua had no expression. Thanks should be shown through actions, just words won't do. What do you want? You're covering my breakfast for the next month. Alex scowled and kicked at the air behind Joshua. I quietly pulled Alex's sleeve and whispered in his ear, Alex, I'll be waiting for you at a university. Alex chuckled wryly. Oh, my dear, I'm not there yet. If you come looking for me, I won't still be the class president or top of the grade. I believe you. Alex's dark eyes shone with a fiery spirit. The next moment, out of nowhere, he kissed my forehead. Joshua, who had barely walked a few steps away, shouted. Hey! Alex ended up with the honors of a 3-month breakfast delivery duty. Countdown, 10 days. I thought this whole thing had blown over, but rumors about Joshua and me spread like wildfire. Apparently, they started from Alex's class. Some girls started gossiping after coming out of Alex's homeroom teacher's office. It was easy to guess the teacher was upset and unintentionally said something to the students. I've heard several versions. One suggests I used Joshua and then dumped him for Alex, another says Alex is heartbroken and taking it out on Joshua. It's all over the map. Joshua's the school heartthrob and has lots of admirers. The girl groups quickly isolated me. Even Joshua, usually so immersed in his studies, noticed something was off. I couldn't focus on the drama among the girls because of the stress from the college entrance exams and the fact I had 10 days to figure out who ate the love bug. For now, I just needed to confirm if Joshua had eaten it. No matter what with Alex, that kiss he stole had already granted him a free pass. While bringing back some assignments from the teacher, Joshua and I overheard some of the chit-chat from a few gossipy girls in class. Do you think they're really dating? They're together all the time. There they go again. Not necessarily. Doesn't Sophia still have that bad boy crush of hers? Wow, what a player, stringing along 2 guys. The blatant malice directed at me left my brain in a fog. I knew they might gossip behind my back but never expected them to say such mean things. Joshua walked to the podium, tossed the homework on the table with a bang. The girls got startled. Recently, there have been rumors. For those among you who would maliciously slander others behind their backs, all I can say is that assuming others' thoughts only reveals your own. I sincerely hope you reconsider who you choose as friends. Afterward, I turned to Joshua gratefully. Thanks for standing up for me, class president. Joshua smiled. No worries. They're just busybodies, nothing to take to heart. You seem a bit distracted lately, is it because of the rumors? I fumbled. A bit, yeah. But mostly it's because I'm worried about where the love bug went. Alex brings breakfast to Joshua every day, using it as an excuse to pester Joshua. Joshua, got it? Alex, understood. But. Joshua, go ahead, I can handle it. Alex, why does this 6 equal 3? Joshua paused, picked up a test paper to hit him. That's a B. I watched Alex's smug face, suspecting he's doing it on purpose. I'm not good at this. But the class president is number 1 in our grade, so please teach me. His words were sincere, eyes hopeful, as he slid a geometry problem toward Joshua. Joshua massaged his temples, a glance of impatience. Draw a helper line here. Alex, oh, got it. Now, get out. I clearly saw the veins on Joshua's hand. One class later, Alex ran back to Joshua. Hey, what about after drawing the line? Joshua. Thanks to Joshua and Alex's peaceful coexistence, the rumors faded away. Countdown, 3 days, weekend. The 3 of us set a plan to go to the library. Mom, surprisingly up early today, opened the door for Alex. Alex obediently waited in the living room. Mom suddenly squeezed into the bathroom, grinning mischievously. So, how's the kissing experience with someone else? I spat my toothpaste foam all over her face. I stared wide-eyed at my mom's teasing grin. How do you know? Oh, my dear. You put too much faith in your mom. I actually realized the first time I saw Alex when I came back from my business trip. You're gutsy, using a love bug on him. Shoo. I couldn't believe it. Of course, she figured out who had the love bug. I stressed for over a month, not knowing whose it was. I was even considering kissing Joshua out of desperation. Thanks to Mom, I paid for my rash actions with a month of anxiousness. With the truth out, I was mad. He was rare to see me in such a fury, swallowed the truth that the love bug wasn't special, just a regular love bug, not causing any impotence. In her usual serious tone. Mom just wants you to know that people always have to pay a price for their actions. She absolutely didn't mean to cause any drama. If she weren't my mom, I'd probably have said something. My name's Joshua. I've heard tons of stories about people confessing their crushes successfully. I try to find inspiration and muster up the courage to tell a girl I like those 3 words. One day between classes, I got called on by a teacher to help grade some papers. The admiration from classmates, the trust from teachers, and the expectations from my parents felt like they were closing in on me. I was scared they'd find out I wasn't as perfect as they thought. My seatmate was a real goody two-shoes and did well in class. I often saw a guy picking her up after school. I also spotted him in the teacher's office a lot, either arguing with a teacher or getting called out. Honestly, I kind of envied Alex. He's just so carefree and does whatever he feels like. Most importantly, there's someone giving him their full attention. They care about the little stuff, his feelings, whether he's happy or not. Unlike the people in my life who only seem to care about my grades. I was jealous of the good friendship he had and wanted to take it for myself. I looked at Sophia, and Sophia was looking at Alex. My grandpa is a wizard. As a kid, I had some experiences with certain magical stuff because of him. So, when Sophia brought out a box of cookies, a daring idea popped into my head. Sophia's got a soft heart. If she knew I took one of those cookies with a love spell and then confessed to her, would she feel guilty enough to say yes? Unfortunately, before I could grab the cookie with the spell, Alex ate it. As long as Sophia doesn't find out who ate it, it's all good. When I got home, my sister Wendy rambled on about what happened at school today. Bro, let me tell ya, she said. You know that bully Alex from our class? He's going around asking how to get a girl to like him. Can you believe it? Wonder which girl caught his eye. I forced a smile. Come here, I'll tell you what girls like. Wendy looked skeptical. You're not a girl, she said. Me, but girls like me, so I know what they like. Then I showed her some lines from literature I'd read a few days ago. Wendy was impressed. Wow, you actually talk to girls like this, bro? I nodded. Guess the world's gone mad. Maybe I'm just out of touch, she critiqued. I chuckled. With her slow connections to the world around her, my sister was easy to fool. My mind was all jumbled up, trying to figure out who ate my cookie. Even with Alex trying to catch up, reaching Ivy League feels like a long shot. He's more like 211 material. On college move-in day, I saw Alex at the gate with a bouquet, waiting anxiously. I took pity and swiped my card to let him in. I recognized those flowers Alex was holding, white camellias, which mean how dare you underestimate my love. I scoffed. Only Alex would think Sophia doesn't like him, just like only Sophia would think Alex doesn't like her. Those two are a perfect mess.